how to create distorted, unusual landscape designs like this in Photoshop. It's really easy, PC or Mac, and it uses a filter perhaps you never use. There's a whole range of different filters used in this, but one key one that I use quite a lot, the difference clouds. It's a really odd filter. You can find it in the filter menu, render, and difference clouds, and just simply apply. And what does it create? Something like that. Now it may vary, obviously it's got some randomization, but how do you get the black and white? Key thing is over here is white and black. You can set it obviously to black or white, and you will generate a cloud based on those colours. So let's apply it again. So simply just go to filter, and again, difference clouds. Apply again, and you get something like that. And you can apply it multiple times. You don't have to apply it just once. So filter and difference clouds. In previous versions, there was a more limited set of repeat filters, but now you've got multiple, so you can go and select other ones as well. And a really useful one is one I'm going to go with a little while later. Neural filters. Super useful, so we'll be going back to that. But what else can you do? Well, you can start with different things, of course. You could maybe go to filter and apply a blur or something like that to this image. But there is a little bit of functionality in the difference clouds as well. I always call it difference cloud. Difference clouds. Hold down the Alt or Option key. And when you do that, you get a slightly more contrast effect to this difference cloud. So filter and difference clouds. Now you can of course go back to the render and play again, exactly the same. So you can see now you get this sort of structure, a bit more of these sort of lines coming through it, and you can apply it again. Again, I'm still holding down the Alt or Option key, depending if you're on a PC or Mac. So difference cloud, and you can see then you get this sort of structure appearing. Well, what you can also do, once you've got this, and as mentioned, you could use different combinations of colours, you could use blues, greens, etc. What you can also do is go to Filter, and just down here, and use Filter Gallery. And what you've got is this glowing edges. This is found in Stylized, so you get this really weird, sort of unusual effect. And the great thing about this one, it's very similar to Fine Edges, but it's got a little bit more functionality in edge width. You can see you can vary that, reduce down, edge brightness, and so on, which I really like. It does give a little bit more flexibility with that. And you get that from this difference clouds. Well, what you can then do is again, of course, apply difference clouds, filter and difference clouds again. And again, hold down the Alt option if you want, or just go with a slightly more blurry effect. Now you can see you get a very weird sort of combination of effect. You've got this like white area coming through, and again, it could obviously, depending on the colours, you'll get from results. And you can apply it again, difference clouds, and you could of course use a shortcut for the last repeat, and you get that, and so on. You could just see you can apply it multiple times. However, say you want to create something like a lunar landscape or some very like mountainous design, really weird one. Now there's not really any great features I think in Photoshop to do that beyond this feature. And if you go to Filter and Neural Filters, so Neural Filters goes there, and it takes a few seconds to process. It's got a lot of neural filters, and you can see you get that result. But that depends on the actual image you've selected. So let's just undo. So Filter and Neural Filters is here. So Neural Filters. And here, you'll notice you've got a couple of options down here, and these are my favourite ones. Creative. I mean, I really love these ones. You can play with this infinite ways. Now, if you're doing it for photography, all those kinds of things, perhaps you may have no real use for this. But I think it's really good for creating some really odd textures and designs. Very abstract. Okay. And just click here. This is the one I want, landscape mixer. Now this style transfer is quite good as well, but I like this one. And you'll notice, strange enough, the one that's very rocky is the one that I use, the presets. Now you've got custom. So maybe you've got lots and lots of images, especially if you've been using AI to generate loads of different textures and designs. You could use those via the custom. There's a custom option and you can select any image. Perhaps have the image just available as another document you've opened and it will be able to access it from here. You can see you could use this untitled one or whatever you've got open. However, I'm just going to go with the preset. I like that and I can just click there and it will apply it. Now, depending on your machine, the result will be quite quick or not. And you can modify the strength. You can modify day, you can go with night. So just vary it, just see which textures you happen to like more than other. I think that one's quite a nice one. That suddenly increases the night. You can see it obviously a lot more dark there. And this one has added in some very weird sort of, looks like snow in between this. So I don't know if no, there's also a winter option. Okay, just click OK. And the output, you can put it to current layer, all these sort of things, which I really like. I wish that Photoshop would add this feature to all of its filters. Be really nice, because I think it's a real nice one to do. But click OK, so it's applied, and then you can see now you've got a very weird and wonderful texture created via the neural filters and also Difference Cloud. Okay, so we've got this. You could end at this point, of course. But there's, of course, more you can do with Difference Cloud as well. And I just want to quickly go through and show you a few more things. So let's just start again. Edit and fill. Let's just put it back to white. And selection, deselect. Always puts a selection around it when you get that neural filter. That's a weird feature, I must admit. Well, what you can do is, again, you could use black and white, but you can also use any colour. So let's just select a colour. And I'm going for something, obviously, that's green and purple for obvious reasons. So we're just going to now go again to filter and Difference Clouds. And you can see you get that. And again, apply it again, hold down the Alt Option key, Difference Clouds, and you get that. And so on. You could generate all kinds of different colour designs that way. But you can also combine it with other filters. So if you want, you can always go to filter, and one I really like using quite a lot to create a far more interesting design than just this basic, I think, is this. Just simply just drag this out. Just move these out slightly or squeeze them in. There's other options, of course, available. Over here, there's lots of twirls. I must admit, most of the time, I just go for this one, which I never remember what the name is. It's Forward Warp Tool. And you can see as you do it, it goes forward, which I should remember. So you get something like that, again, which can be used, again, with the neural filter to create interesting textures. However, another option you can do is with this, got this background, you can, of course, always right-click and duplicate layer. Just create a duplicate. And now let's just resize it. So resize it and make it slightly bigger. And again, filters, hold down the Alt Option key, Difference Cloud, and you can apply it again, Difference Cloud, and so on. And you can then, of course, move this in. Now it extends beyond that. So if you want, you can always then just reduce down. Now you could use it, of course, with smart filters. That would be another way, probably slightly better option. And you can see now you get that because there's very unfortunately very limited selection of ways you can do it. I wish there was a resize feature within the difference. I wish there was different options for the difference as well. Maybe a smoothness would be nice. But you can see now with this, you've created a slightly smaller, right? So you could create a huge document, resize it. There's no rule that says you can't do that. And of course, once you've got this, you can now, as a layer, just go here with the blend modes, go darken, and you can see as you run through these, you will get darker colour, which I think creates a nice one, lighten, and screen. I think lighten with difference really works well. It creates a very unusual marble, shiny, sort of smooth, weird landscape design. You know, an alien landscape, a sort of lava, very unusual lava, albeit. You could, of course, apply an adjustment layer on top of this and then turn it all into red. So perfectly reasonable. Let's just go here and go to layer, new adjustment layer, and then just apply it on top. Maybe go for hue and saturation. Hue and saturation, click OK, and colorize. And then you can see you go through there, you can maybe go red, maybe change the saturation to create something like that. A very weird thing, which of course you can modify. You don't have to go with that. You could just go colour and just recolor that. And again, that creates some interesting variations in itself. And again, once you're happy with everything, of course, you can always then just go over here to layer and flatten image. And you've got that very unusual texture again. And this is a great way, I think, of creating some quite unique textures in Photoshop. Now, what you can also do, and all these things you could do with earlier versions to a degree, obviously neural is a bit trickier, because the next thing to finish it off is what I would normally do is go to filter and then go to neural filters again. And again, use exactly the same. And you could select a different type of landscape. Applied it again. I do that without thinking. Ha! No, I don't want that one. Of course, you can always do that and then go to neural filter and select a different one. Landscape mixer. You don't have to go with the rocky. I think the rocky one is quite nice. But maybe you decide to go with the sand dune one, or what would you say that would be? Let's just click. It does create a different look. And again, you can modify the strength. Now, sometimes some of these take a few seconds to process. Like this one. Is it going to do anything? Why? I'm using it, I'm selecting it. Wouldn't it be nice if it just set it? It just set that feature. Has always baffled me why as soon as you select one, it should work out that I want to use it and then set it on. Otherwise you're thinking, I'm clicking this, nothing's happening. Come on, Adobe, change that. It just makes no sense whatsoever. Also, it's still beta. I do not know why that's still beta. Baffles me anyway. Okay, select another one, and you can see just by simply selecting different ones, you get some really quite unique things. Now, I would say the one trouble with this is sometimes the results are quite blurry. But you can always manipulate that later outside of, with maybe other filters. There's the AI sharpening. Who knows? And again, you can modify day night or go to custom and just select a unique file, which you could use that way. All load of options, click OK, and you get that. Once you've got that, of course, always go to image and you can go with auto tone to get something like that. Maybe combine it with other filters as well. There's loads of great filters. Again, liquify is always a good one because it just creates all kinds of weird distortions. Certainly for the kind of work I love doing, which is more abstract design, liquify is just a great tool for that. Well, once you've got it, what can you do with this design, this difference effect? Well, you could use it as a pattern design. You could use it as a background texture, use it as an overlay. So, we've got this background. What I can then do is go over to File and let's place a free Adobe stock image. You can access all these. Let's just go and select one of them. I'm just going to go and select something fairly dramatic, this guy. I'm not certain what he's doing, but whatever he's doing, I'm going to add that. Takes a few seconds to add it, and let's just go with this for purposes of this tutorial. So, okay, resize it a bit, move it around so it fills the entire image, and double click. Now, what I can do, I can go over here and go here to blend modes. This is on top of the background, so I can then go through these, darken, multiply, color burn, lighten. I think lighten always works really nice. Now you of course could duplicate that layer as well, maybe have 3 or 4 copies and blend those. All kinds of different things. You can also go with lighten, screen, colour dodge, soft light, vivid light and so on. I think vivid light is quite dramatic, especially for this person who looks like he's conducting or doing something else. I'm not certain. But what if you want to go the other way around? Now, this is one thing that always frustrates me slightly in Photoshop. Now, if I try and drag this down, you'll notice it does not work. Frustratingly, this is set. If you've got a lock there, deselect it. Once you've deselected that, you can now drag it below. I'm not certain why that does that. Personally, I wish, please put in the comments below, there is a background feature, how to keep it unlocked. I would love that. Never makes any sense having the background locked as far as I'm concerned. Okay, we've got it behind now. Now we can go here and we can now go through these, darken, and you've got this and you can run through and lighten. And of course another option, just use opacity. You don't have to go full on, maybe have a subtle colour difference. I mean, I think a subtle one works nicer perhaps than a full on effect like that. But of course you can apply other filters as well on this. Doesn't have to remain like that. Maybe use a blur, so filter, blur, and maybe box or Gaussian, just like that. And maybe not go that much, but just maybe go for a subtle colour difference. So again, you've got that difference cloud effect. You can see it rippled through different colours all the way through the image. And with that, you've got this and you can go through again, screen, overlay and so on to create something like that, which creates quite a unique sort of colouring effect added to your image in Photoshop. Any thoughts about this? Please let me know in the comments below. Bye.